So I started the dog walk story a little late, out of the street, a little late on the walk today. I was playing with Audi and just having, kind of a good time with her. But I did want to do one because it really is like the only thing that I could say somewhat might set anything apart from an everyday everyone else's damn story times or whatever. So I try to do one when I take my dog on a walk. So I call it the dog walk story. Wanted to talk about things that are of more interest to people. So I asked everyone, like, if you have a legitimate question or comment or something you want to address with me or have me address or answer for you, try to get that across in the first line of your sentence, because I don't really read a lot of the comments, but I do get the notifications on the phone. The notification always has at least the first line of the comment. So today people asked me some valid questions, and that was what I made videos about. One person asked me how I felt about gender equality and this type of thing. I'm guessing that maybe this person thought that would be a good question to me because of maybe my background, or maybe it's like something that's very a big issue for this person in their life, or whatever it may be. I thought it was a good question, so I made the video. I answered the question, and then right as I was like, okay, I'm gonna go on the dog walk, I want to tell a dog walk story, and like, I'll tell you all, like, fuck it, on PEDs, 270 pounds, my fucking ass is breathing hard, walking a few blocks with the dog. Possibly because I smoke cigars, possibly because of whatever. It's probably because of the damn PEDs, whatever. So we don't need to talk about that anymore. I get those videos or the comments where folks are like, man, you need to lay off the juice, man, you can barely breathe, and this and that. Well, truth be told, I may have been doing juice for 20 some odd years, but I just fucking started this cycle, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago? Anyway, didn't really have anything to talk about on the walk today, and as luck would have it, right before we got ready to go, someone sent me a question that I liked. Knowing that I don't like, and it's no secret, I don't like Jason Genova's little punk ass, and I don't like Big Lenny's bitch ass, and I did challenge Lenny. People took that out of context. What I said in the challenge was, if I see you at a show or an expo, I'm going to take a shot at you. I'm going to fight you. Now that, yes, is a bit childish. But please understand the reason. He was taking shots at somebody that I consider a friend, when they were on parole in another state, and Lenny was really being disrespectful, with all the typical disrespect of a keyboard warrior or a telephone tough guy making a video with somebody that's in Chicago from Florida, saying how he'd fight any Hell's Angel anytime and fuck Mel Clancy and this and that. Well, I took it a little personally, and so I said, if I see you. If I see you. I didn't say I'm going to hunt you down. Well, anyway, the typical jokers out there, and if you ain't a joker, don't think I'm talking to you. If you are a joker, I'm fucking talking to you. Either didn't fucking listen to what I was saying, or misinterpreted it, or whatever. And one particular person was like, why you want to fuck with somebody who's in the hospital, and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, man, fuck you. I've been in the hospital, and I got out of the hospital. He'll get out of the hospital, and then we'll fucking do whatever. Chances are it'll never happen. Anyway, and then another person hits me, oh, Lenny will be at the Ruby Cup this weekend. And if y'all don't know, the Ruby Cup is in Florida. And I'm in California. And because I didn't say I was going to hunt his fat ass down, I sure as fuck wasn't going to buy a last minute $3,000 plane ticket. That's about how much a plane ticket is when you buy them last minute. To go to Florida just to, whatever, with Big Lenny. Really the challenge that was posed to him from myself was say that shit to somebody's face. Because I never see him say shit to anybody's face in those Delray Misfit videos, or any of the videos where him or Genova, or those two are talking shit. You know, they don't, Genova made a video talking shit on PJ Braun, and Lenny makes all these videos talking shit on, I don't know, some other bodybuilder dude that looks shit way better than Lenny, I guess, out there where they are. But they never fucking make a video saying the shit to somebody's face. So when I started doing these, one of the things that I was doing was saying, to people that wanted to talk shit to me, or to people I considered friends of mine. Please excuse me while I sit down and hook the dog up. Give me 2 seconds. Bear with me. I am not perfect. I'd like to think so. Anyway, I started doing these challenges where it was basically me saying, I'll give you 1,000 of my dollars if you'll say that shit to my face. And I also said I will pay for you to get to where I am. I will pay for you to stay where I am, whether it be Northern California, Southern California, Florida, Florida, Nevada, anywhere where I have a house and frequently stay and live at times. It's nice to have multiple homes. You can choose where you're going to be. Anyway, someone's like, once you, Lenny gonna be at the Ruby Cup, bet you won't roll up. And like, this is like the day before the show, right? And I'm like, fuck. So I said, I wrote back to the dude. I was like, man, that is not what I said. I did not say I was gonna fucking dog the bounty hunter Lenny down. I said, if I see him, I have some shit I want to say to him that will probably escalate. And so like right before the dog walk today, somebody hits me up and they're like, what did you think of the Ruby Cup? How Genova looked, how Lenny looked. Okay. Honestly, I thought Genova looked exactly how he's always looked, which is probably about 25 to 30% body fat. Really, the only quality muscle I see on the kid's body is his legs, and they're not anything special. I mean, I see chicks with legs bigger and better, but I'm just saying that's like the only really quality muscle I see on Genova's body. And he looked exactly the same, you know, which he always does. He's never going to improve. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with him. He's clearly has some type of mental disorder, whether it be, you know, just basically mentally challenged or whatever, autistic maybe. I've heard a couple people say he might be autistic. Anyway, so he's never going to change, you know what I mean? Like, Blackstone Labs threw him a bone at one point when he said that he was going to, you know, be a bodybuilder, and they gave him kind of like this fake contract, you know. They endorsed him as an athlete, you know, he was one of their signed athletes, but they didn't pay him, you know what I'm saying? Like, they would pay, you know, like a normal, you know, IFBB pro or NPC person who looked extremely well, or even an amateur that looked extremely good. They gave him some t-shirts and, you know, some supplements from their line and such, and made him feel good about himself and whatever. And they've since let him go because the mentally deficient Jason Genova can't stop running his fucking mouth. And if you own a company now, you know, whatever your company may be, excuse me, I gotta take pistols out of my pockets and shit. You guys know that I don't really leave home without them. Anyway, they have since let him go because Genova is, you know, basically a pissant. Can't stop running his mouth. And if you own a company, that's really not the type of athlete that you want representing your brand. You know, someone who the majority of people hate or dislike or whatever you want to call it. So when it comes to Genova, I thought he looked the same way he always does. He looks like a poser. He walks like a fucking idiot. And yeah, you know, go ahead and say that I'm trashing a fucking mentally challenged person or whatever, but this kid doesn't seem to have a problem with his brain, except for the fact that he's stupid. So, you know, he kind of walks funny, he poses really strange. I remember even seeing a video where, you know, PJ Braun tried to teach him how to pose a little bit better. They were like outside PJ's condo, and somebody was trying to, another athlete, I think, you know, or a friend of PJ, something, was, trying to get my lighter, I'm sorry, trying to show this kid how to pose properly, and he couldn't do it. Basically, Genova's body doesn't really move right. And, you know, we've all seen that on people who have, you know, whatever. I hate to, you know, trash people who legitimately have an issue. So I don't really want to compare it to anything. But in order to get my point across, I guess I will say, to me, it looks as if Genova either can't move properly when it comes to his joints and the way they bend and this type of thing. Like, he walks with his hand kind of, you know, fucked up like this, and he poses the same way. You know, he looks like shit on stage. He's fat by bodybuilding standards. He looks like shit, and he always comes in last, obviously. Now, it's really fucking easy to say, I'm gonna make it to nationals because all you gotta do is get third or better. Well, shit, when there's only 3 people in your class, you obviously get a free fucking ticket to nationals, right? So that doesn't really mean shit. And, you know, other people have touched on this. You know, Jerry Ward made a point of saying this was kind of a joke. And Genova, if you do intend on truthfully becoming a bodybuilder, you need to put, you know, years more work on your body before you should even think about going to nationals. You know, they're not going to give you an honorable mention trophy like they do in fucking Little League, where they don't keep score and everybody gets a trophy shit. You know, like, this is nationals. This is not the fucking Ruby Cup where you live. Anyway, I'm gonna have to do a part 2. I'm sorry.